Let's see what we got here. I don't think anybody was waiting, but I'll get this going in the holder. Thanks everybody for bearing with me, because somewhere there's got to be more right there. All right, there we go, everybody. Uh-huh. What is that? There's that. That should do it. Let's go. I got to make sure there's sound, so let's see what that happens. What happens with that? Welcome everybody on YouTube, Facebook. It's 8:30. We're going to get started in 2 seconds. Let me check to make sure all the sound's good. Everything's going good. All the microphones are on, and we'll get ready in a sec. But I got to check YouTube. I've already checked Facebook. All right. There we go. We're on YouTube. Hit my B. There we go. There we go. Turn up this. Oh, really? Okay. Great. That doesn't. What is going on? All right, here we go. There's the live. We're live. There we go. All right, we're live. Turn up this. Oh, really? All right. Welcome everybody. Make sure that you check in. Tell us where you're from and what your favorite bourbon or whiskey is. And feel free to comment. We are watching. There we go. I got that posted. It's working. I will get the comments going. There we go. You guys are quiet on Facebook, that's for sure. Am I froze up or anything like that? I hope I'm not. No, I can't freeze up on Facebook. The only place I can freeze up on is, let's see. I gotta look at it, see what we're doing. Give myself that, and we're almost ready. Yep. Yep, that's good. Yep. All right. That's working better. Good on Facebook, good on YouTube. All right, welcome everybody tonight. I'll go quick with our sponsors, the Spirit of French Lick, and the folks down there with, oh my God, there we go. Spirit of French Lick, and the folks down there in French Lick, Indiana, are producing Alan Bishop's. They've got Alan Bishop's whiskey. They've got what he did. He left last, I believe, I want to say March, and the Scotchy Bourbon boys were in there the last time he was in there, and we did 2 barrel picks. One was a William Dalton, and the other was a Lillian Sinclair. So if you're very interested in finding out what Alan Bishop and the Spirit of French Lick can do for you as far as making and expanding your palate, make sure you get a hold of me. But also, if you're in the French Lick area, they've got a casino down there. They've got the winery, the distillery. There's so much to do. The French Lick area was also known for their hot springs, and it's just a cool area to go to. So you got to check them out when you go down there, take a tour, and see what they're doing. All right, that's the Spirit of French Lick. And then also we have Rosewood Bourbons and Rye. Jason Giles down there does a fantastic job. He's out of Texas. He basically is distilling, but he's also purchasing barrels out of Kentucky and Indiana, driving them down to Texas, aging them for at least 1 season down there, and then he gets them into the bottles. He does his blends of his bourbons and ryes are fantastic. Plus, his single barrels are amazing. So you got to check that out. Um, Rosewood Bourbon and Rye. Look up Jason Giles on Facebook if you're interested, and he'll get you hooked up. Then Whiskey Thief Distilling. This is my favorite hat because this has their DSP. The newer ones don't. But Whiskey Thief Distilling in Frankfort, Kentucky, and now their new tasting room in Nulu, Kentucky, right outside of Louisville. Make sure that you check it out. It's a barrel pick all day, every day. You get to choose from 5 barrels. You get them thieved into your glass, all for the price of admission. And then if you like one exceptionally, you can thieve and fill your own bottle. They put the label on right there. They basically write what you picked right on the label. They seal it, vacuum seal it, and you are on your way. But the fun doesn't stop there. At their Frankfurt distillery, you get to see how all their bourbon's made, where it's aging, and then also they have a awesome outdoor activity area where they have a stage for live music. They also have they've got tailgate toss or cornhole, and they've got open fire pits for the evening, perfect for smoking cigars and sitting around smoking. And they have a great food truck, so you got to check out Whiskey Thief Distilling Company and their tasting room now in New Louisville. But no matter where you go, you're going to get a barrel pick. And where can you say that? Normally, to get on a barrel pick at a place, you either got to be invited by somebody who's buying a barrel, or to be on a barrel pick at other places, you actually have to get the extra experience. This is part of their everyday experience. Make sure you check out Walter. You've got Kelly and Derek down there, and then also you have Hannah at both places. But no matter what, when you go to Whiskey Thief, make sure you say the Scotchy Bourbon Boys and tell them that the Scotchy Bourbon Boys sent you, and they say hi. All right. And then last but not least is Alan Bishop's. If you have ghosts, you have everything. Alan, he has a fantastic spirits podcast. It mixes the spirits industry with the spirits occult world. And it's a fantastic podcast. Alan does a great job. It's one of my favorite podcasts. So it's on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you listen, it's there. And make sure you check out If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. And then also, if you're running around YouTube and you love distilling, there's the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute channel that Alan Bishop runs. And you got to check that out, because if you like home distilling, he'll answer questions. It's one of the most informative distilling podcasts on YouTube. So make sure you check that out. Alan Bishop, now the master distiller of Old Homestead Distilling Company. And stuff is starting to happen. He's starting to put the new stuff in the barrel. We're just starting to get going again. We followed Alan's career completely at the Spirit of French Lick, and now we're starting to follow it at Old Homestead. Can't wait to do that. So one of our guys wants some vodka, but I got your alternative for vodka tonight. So we're going to get going. We are going to be talking about on this podcast, once I get this going and up and running and we get going, you will get that going, and what it is tonight. And I guess I showed I showed the Spirit of French Lick, and here is the Whiskey Thief. You can just see it back there, so I'm sure y'all picked that up. And let's get this show on the road. I'm making sure. All right, so tonight's podcast, what to do with a whiskey that you didn't like, that you bought and you thought you might like it, or you got a bunch of whiskeys that you just don't know what's happening with it. We're going to come up with a bunch of ideas. So getting excited for this tonight, and let's get it going. I will start the podcast. There'll be a 30-second spot where I have to be quiet. You'll hear the music, and we'll get this podcasts going.
Drinking buddy, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. Love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, it's all songs, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon boys. Raising hell, making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon boys. We're here to have fun.
All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. So good to be here. It's Tuesday, January 25th, and we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny's here tonight. Super Nash and CT will be here on Thursday, the 27th, January 27th, and we will be doing Penelope. I believe it's called the Estate Collection. We've got that to go, and that's what's going to be next Thursday. But I'm here tonight by myself, but I'm not really by myself because I have a bunch of people online on Facebook and on YouTube, and we're just I'm just checking out. Yeah, Mr. Smith says, let's get drunk. I'm just checking out. I'll monitor the YouTube and the Facebook comments as we go along. But tonight's podcast is a really cool podcast. It's what to do with whiskey or bourbons that you purchased. In some case, you didn't get to taste and you don't like it. It's not your favorite, and you got 950 bottles all around you, and you're not sure what you want to do with it, but I'm here to tell you a bunch of things that you can do with whiskeys and bourbons. And honestly, the one thing that's out there is the old fashioned. And I've done a podcast on does better bourbons make better old fashions? And they absolutely do. So that's the one drink, mixed drink, mixer uh, that I'm not going to ever put something I don't like in because I like to put what I like into a good bourbons into my old fashions. But when it comes to everything else, then we'll talk about that. But remember, www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We got our Glencairns. Oh, good thing, a Woodford Reserve. Our Scotchy Bourbon Boys Glencairns. We've got our t-shirts. Hopefully, we got the pecans going for our next round of bourbon balls. They went so fast this Christmas, it was just my head spun. There, if you got some, you were lucky because I don't even think I got one. So just make sure you check us out at all the different things. You can contact me for any of the Scotch and Bourbon Boys merchandise, and then also our barrel picks. If you're interested, contact me. We got some really good ones. So make sure you reach out, and I get that to you now. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. And like I said before, if everything works out, I will welcome back to get back on TikTok. But we got to get some changes on that. And we should know in the next couple weeks what's going on with that. And if we're going to get back on, because that platform was kind of cool for us. So it would be cool for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys to be back on TikTok. Now, also, remember, we're on all the major podcast formats: Spotify, iHeart, and Apple, and then also just the other Pandora, Amazon, Alexis. You can ask to play the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. You can ask Siri to play the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. There's so much that you can do. We're out there if you're listening. But remember, like, listen, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. We absolutely want that to happen. So if you're watching and you enjoy the show, make sure you check out and give us 5 stars on Apple. Give us, subscribe on YouTube if you're watching. Please, we appreciate it. It's how we go. Our whole thing, it revolves around our sponsors. What little we don't get a lot of money, but we get some money. It keeps us up in equipment and travel expenses, and then also a little bit of the bourbon and whiskey that we review. So everything that you can give us, even through, I believe we're even on I'm Jesus. It's not. I want to say it's just a total blank, so I'm not even going to go there. It's funny how I can't. Patreon. There it was. It actually came to me. We're on Patreon, and you can different levels and get stuff. And we will. I've everybody now has their Crystal Glencairns, and the Crystal Glencairn Club consists of we've got 3 people in the Crystal Glencairn Club, plus the honorary members that if you've been on this show a lot, like Greg Schneider and Stacy Pritchard and Randy Prass, the people who've been on that's when you've been on our show and you're the friends of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We like to treat everybody right because we get treated right. So look for I believe I'm going to have a couple openings in the Crystal Glencairn Club coming up. Now, here we are. This is something all night I got to figure out. But the first honestly, the people on the first, I don't know what I want. I'm just trying to think about how I can get this on YouTube. Oh, I probably let's see. Where did I just put that underneath? Okay, so I might be able to monitor this. Nope, that's the camera. Oh, but then I can show Facebook on YouTube. Let's see. Let's see if I got Facebook. Yep, there it is. Let's go to. I don't want to be on Scotchy Bourbon Boys page. Let's go back home. All right. There it is. So if I do the screen share here, let's do this. I love doing screen shares. Here we go. Everybody listen on audio. You just listen to the audio because this is narrated. And let's see. There it is. Share screen. That should come up. Let's take that up right there. And then I'm going to see what happens. And there's an extreme way of dealing with bourbons that you don't like. I got this up there. Okay, so I should be able to. Let's make this bigger. Let's see. There it is. Of dealing with. Okay, now I got to figure out how to turn the sound off. I should be able to. Let's see. Make this bigger. Let's go. Okay, turn the sound off. All right, so that's. I wonder how that. Okay, that's dumb. I didn't want that. Okay, there we go. So I will show this on YouTube. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's see if they can. This is interesting. This is some interesting stuff I'm doing here. I'm hoping that you can see that. I gotta wait and then I can play. All right, let's see. All right. Let's see. What is that showing? Okay, that's an angle. Okay. That should be good. All right. So now I should be able to where's the play? Okay, you're screwing me up here. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, there's the plate. All right, here we go. All right, there's many different ways to deal with bourbons that you don't, and whiskeys and ryes that you don't like. But I'm going to illustrate one. I've got a bottle of something that I haven't drank for a long time. I still don't like it. I can smell it. It has a bunch of different things going on, but this is called a drain pour. And that is one way. All right. So there you go. The drain pour. That's the first time these pours are the first time I've ever done them. I don't really think that, that's that. But then if you got something you really don't like, and there's one step further, and I am about to play that for you. So let's see how that works. There are many different ways to deal with bourbons, whiskeys, and ryes that you don't like, but this is probably the ultimate way to deal with it. I don't always recommend this, but this one's been around for a while, and I really don't like it, and I have no problem doing this. Unlike the drain pour, which gives it a little bit of respect, pouring it down the drain, this is the toilet pour. It also sterilizes the bowl. There are many different. All right, there you go, everybody. Um, Hopefully, you were able to see that. At least you were able to hear that on YouTube. I'm just, it's a little bit of a, what would you say? It's a little bit different or whatever. It's delayed too, but those are two ways. All right, what do we got here? All right, I got to get this out of the way. John, I love your comment. You should have enough raw material ingredients for more. I brought those up for that. Oh my God. It's just like, so you got the drain pour and the toilet pour. I don't recommend these. I just illustrated them. I will put those out on as reels and also as shorts on YouTube. I thought that was I felt really kind of strange doing it. So there's another thing you can do. It's like, and so we covered this a long time ago, and this particular Canadian Club Reserve 9 year I had, and this about 5 years ago, we took one of these wooden oak charred staves for making whiskey taste better. Now we didn't know good enough. I left one in for about 3 weeks. And honestly, we had taken a little bit out before we dropped it in, and we compared, and it did make it better. So if you have a whiskey, and this is a Canadian whiskey, not my favorite, and you can buy this on Amazon. They have all different types of little chips you can drop in and kits. There's flavor kits that you can add, where you can add different flavors and different oaks and woods and cherries and vanillas. So adding extra stuff in and letting it age is another way to do that. Now, I'm going to see what this tastes like 5 years later. It's a 9 year that's been in the bottle for about 5 years. I'm going to grab one of these glasses because I don't think it's a Glenworthy, but I have not revisited it. And actually, opening that up, it smells decent. And this was 3 weeks aged in with this little stave, not this one, but one. And I have one, I've had it all along. I mean, it's been in a drawer and whatever. It'll probably add um, pencil shaving flavors, but taking this, and now that sat in the bottle for another 9 years, I don't know if I don't think it's a drain pour or a toilet pour. Well, let's see. Actually, that's freaking really good. I don't know why, but that's I so let's it's not hard to do. That was that damn good. Let's add a little bit more oak to it. There we go. I've been dying. There it goes. It's in there. Let's see what happens. We'll revisit this in a couple weeks, but that's one thing you can do. You just drop that baby in there and you're going to add some more wood flavor. So if you didn't like it, now granted, this was this was had that in for 3 weeks and then sat we tasted it and then sat for 5 years. And there's a little less down on the thing, but I'm dropping that baby in and let's see what kind of flavor we can get. That's another thing you can do with whiskeys. Now, one of the other things you can do, and people were saying, now I've got the book, and let's put this over here because I don't think it should be on camera. Let's take that off camera. There we go. I had the book right in front of me with the glasses. So here we go. So here's some the what would you say? I posted this on Facebook earlier, and here are some ideas that people have been throwing out there. Cameron Hatch, he wants to give it to his brother with a less refined palate. That's what he does with all the whiskey that he buys that he doesn't drink. Craig Mapper, M-A-P-R, Craig Meyer, sorry. He makes cookies and apple pie with it. Now, I always would recommend if you're going to cook with it and you're trying to make something like cookies and apple pie, you should use a good tasting bourbon, not a bad bourbon or whiskey, but it's to each his own. Ann Dimmick says she likes to make different cocktails. That is something that we will discuss in a little bit. Andy Piper, mix with Coke and give it to the wife. I like that one, Andy. But my wife ain't going for it. My wife is a neat bourbon drinker and she likes what she likes and her flavors. That would not work with my wife. Rob Hartfield, he said, mix it with Coke and give it to his buddy. Greg, I won't say his last name because he says he gives it to his co-workers that just drink. Chris Mapes, he does an infinity mixer. All right. So he basically, you can put it in. This is one of the things. This is an actual Woodford double oak. I had so many Woodford double oaks picks and they were all getting down. I still have, 3 or 4 picks, but also, that type of thing. And you basically pour them all in, mix them all together. And then when they first mix together, it's not the greatest. But I'll tell you, the same thing when you do this with the whiskeys, you're going to get some different flavors. It's going to completely change from when it was. This has allowed in time that all the different barrels at first when they were going, it didn't have the greatest taste, but once they've infused, that's the same thing. If you're going to mix all these different and so what I would say is if you're doing a drain pour or a toilet pour, don't pour them all out. Leave some and start an infinity where they mix together to see if you can take a bunch of them and mix them together. Just keeps getting better. It's been sitting. There's a good amount of oak on that baby. It's like a butterscotch oak. Interesting. How the more it sits in there and the more they're together, that each time you have it, it changes. It's the same. It would be the same thing with the infinity. Now, he puts it all together and then he uses those for mixers. He doesn't even drink it straight. I like this. George Moreau. Wait, what's his name? Lance Moreau. Sorry, Lance. he does a ninja slushy. He basically mixes them into the slushy. Bo Cumberland, he does a marinade for smoking meat. Then Hal Ginsberg says, um, it's great to put into eggnog. It adds into the eggnog, so that's kind of cool. Tim Johnson, I need to go up to Tim Johnson's because yes, Randy, everything showed up today. I'll talk to you about getting you the Venmo ASAP. Tim Johnson, he said, and he's up in northern Cleveland area. He says redistill after mixing them all up. So you get them all together and you redistill them and then do whatever you got to do, age them or whatever. Um, Dave French does a mason jar reblending. So he basically gets mason jars and puts a little bit of this and a little bit of that. John Bentz, he redistills too. Justin Whaley, a good friend of the show, he does an infinity blend for cocktails and cooking. He takes the stuff he doesn't like, mixes all together, and he'll make cocktails out of them and he'll cook with it. He just kind of keeps it going. John, we all know he's here, and John likes to use it as a fire, not a fire retardant, enhancer. You could use it as a fire starter. Dan Kelly, he likes to fool everybody. What he does is he pours it into a decanter, and then he puts a different empty bottle that's a much better bourbon next to the decanter, and then has a riot to see what everybody says. So that would be an interesting thing to do with it. Now, Lou Bryson, the whiskey writer, he says he would keep it. He keeps some so he doesn't forget what he doesn't like. And then also he'll mix them together to make like a Lynchburg lemonade. He likes to do that. Jason Giles likes to mix Red Bull. Jason, cheers, buddy. Then you got Greg Nichols. He said, and that's one of the things a couple guys said. They said rebarrel it. So you've got things like this here. I've got that. I got this from Young Nose a long time ago, but it's a little small 750 milliliter barrel. It's got the thing. To do that, this has been around for a long time. You're supposed to fill it up with water, let it expand. Once it does that, then you pour in your whiskey, and this will age it further. So that is one thing that I think the screws out, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if it's in there, if it's a charred barrel. Let's take a look. Got the stave in there. Can't see much, but you just pour it in and then seal it back up and go from there. That's a pretty cool thing. If I personally, these little barrels, if I was going to put something in there, I really would want to put something that I wanted that was good, that I wanted to even make better. Not so great that I don't want to change it, but that's kind of how that goes. So that brings us to had ideas. Some people talked about mixers, but everybody knows Tiny hates some rye. This particular rye here, put in the Scotchy. No, I'm going to put it in the Woodford Sazerac rye. I tried the 18 and I almost puked. They taste rancid to me, and it's my palate. Lots of people like it. You can like what I don't like because our palates are all different. Whiskey's a personalized experience, but this flavor in certain ryes, I'm hoping that this held together the same way. Otherwise, I got to find another one. No, it has it. Ooh, the other one. I think I gave. I don't know if I still have Bullet Rye. Bullet Rye was by far the worst 95.5 MGP that just is just spread picked. I've had some 95.5 MGP that people have me taste their barrels. Um, that 6-year rye from Watershed, and there was one that Bill Hockett did down at Dayton Barrel Works. But this is Sazerac. And doesn't taste rancid. Okay. There's enough sweetness, but it has the flavors I don't. Picks up dill. There's some. It tastes like celery and dill and whatever. And so the one thing that this is the one that I really kind of like, and we're going to bring it out. Here we go. What to do with rye. Tiny has figured this out. Out of all the things to do with a rye, is the one thing that this really comes through. I got some celery. That's what's in the rye. I got some Bloody Mary mix here. I didn't open it. And this is going to be, do you think I got to shake it up? I might tend, but this is the Bloody Mary mix. Now, when I do a Bloody Mary with vodka, I use the Bloody Mary mix. There it is. I got to see. And then I'll finish it with V8. Now, this one is low sodium, 100% vegetable juice. It's low sodium, but we're going healthy tonight. We're going to go do that. Let's put that up there. There we go. We got the celery in there. We will put this up here. Got some original Bloody Mary mix. I got some V8 right there. I got the Bloody Mary. I got the celery in there, and then we are gonna drop. Let's fill that baby up. Yep, we got some Sazerac rye that I don't like, and then we're gonna stir that baby up. Let's get this going. I'm dying for this all night. Oh, some pickles. One pickle. Two pickle. And some juice. Some pickle juice. All right, we're still going to set that. So, in my opinion, so I got Clausen pickles, V8, and I've got this, I want to say, I got the glasses, so let's just do this. This is 95% juice and sea salt. It is this is Mr. and Mrs. T Bloody Mary mix. It definitely is available for you. I got to see if I have to add more. Let's see what happened here. I got my pickles in there, got my celery. What do I need? I might need some more. Need some more of Mrs. T's. I got too much. Let's put some more of that. Take that back up. All right. Got a couple pickles in there. Got that. Mr. and Mrs. T. I mean, you are talking with this celery. We're talking Bloody Mary, couple pickles in there. So this, I mean, you can get this will work on Super Bowl Sunday, man. Put a little bit more Sazerac rye, get that bottle starting to be a little bit lower. So, in my opinion, those an air conditioner. All right, come to Big Touch. I would love to, Marcos. And then, but in my opinion, these ryes that I don't like make the greatest Bloody Mary. I don't like vodka Bloody Marys, okay? So we're going to put this off to the side. We'll get that out of the way. We'll get back on the air. But when it comes to the Bloody Mary, it was just like these dill ryes, not these chocolate ryes or whatever. These dill, I don't know why was that all offline and now it's still there. There we go. Get the old man glasses out of there. They are quite good in a Bloody Mary. They have the dill already built in. They've got the celery taste built in. I mean, this is fantastic. Plus, there is a little bit. What is that? It's the Bloody Mary mix. Let's see. I should have a towel under here. But if I do, no, I don't. We'll use a little. Yeah, we'll use a bag. Wipe that up. I don't. It was something, but oh, it's the pickle juice. I'll have to wipe that up a little bit better. Is that a Caesar? No, it is a Bloody Mary. It's made of tomato V8 tomato juice, the Mr. and Mrs. T's Bloody Mary mix, pickles, celery, and Sazerac rye, straight rye whiskey. That's kind of like what I like to do. So I'll share some rare character ryes that I think you may actually enjoy. There are some ryes that I do enjoy. I would say Michter's rye. There are some, but at the same time, uh, you know, we covered all the different things that you can do. You can rebarrel it, you can redistill it, you can add some, wood flavoring to it. What I'm doing on that 9, and actually that works. That can work well. If it's you're making it into, you can decanter it, uh, share with friends. Somebody mentioned they like to take those bottles to a party and then leave them. But I don't feel comfortable. I do not feel comfortable leaving. I don't feel comfortable going to a party with an open bottle. Put it that way. And most everything for me to know that I don't like it, it has to be an open bottle. But I can I can have it out on my bar. But once again, if people are coming here, I don't serve them up I don't serve up bad bourbons. Now, if I don't like them, some people do like rye. So my rye guys, a lot of times my ryes get out of here because they got to get out of here because more is coming. It just does, tonight, Sweetens Cove. Thank you so much, Randy. That came. Uh, love it. Turn it into a Bloody Mary, a Bloody M rye, a Bloody Meyer. How would you say that? A Bloody Mirai. A Bloody Mirai. That's awesome, Rose. That is awesome. But this is pretty good. I will drink the Saz. I won't. I don't want to drink the Sazerac rye, but I will drink it in a Bloody Mary. I don't want to drink it either. I love the pickles in a Bloody Mary too. It's just like if I can get this pickle, there it comes. It's like this is a glass we stole out of New Orleans, not the last time, but mm, that's so good. The pickle is just so much better. So, anyways, if y'all, there's a lot to do with the whiskeys. Like I said, a lot of people will walk out of here. I even had one person. So it's the same thing with single malts. Now, there are some really good single malts I'm not giving away, but there's a couple of them, and they're American single malts, and they're okay. But I'll ship them, so that's kind of cool. All right, that I'm sharing with my Florida whiskey group at a local star. I'm having a Friday. Okay, a Friday. That's funny, but I'm not going to be there. I won't. Yeah. When we come down, Randy, in March, if we make it to Bayou, you just keep those ryes by you. If we're going to bring something else, we're going bourbon. So a lot of people like to try and get me to try ryes, and that's fine. But if I'm like on vacation going, the ryes are just kind of put back on the shelf. So that's just kind of like how that's got to work when we do that. So actually, I think I put enough Sazerac in here that I'm getting a buzz. But I want to drink this because I love V8. This is like dinner, healthy for me. I got pickles and tomato juice. What more can you get? Now this was a high five, and I want to say it was Pat O'Brien's, and in New Orleans, and they had served a hurricane in there, and we got that glass, and I was excited about that glass. Let's see. She rubber banded this little one on here. Let's. I wonder if that's going to go too far. All right, let's see what the celery's tasting like with the. We'll set right there. I do like celery. That absorbs that up. So that's it for what we got to do with bourbons and ryes that you don't like. Now, I'm going to stay on tonight a little bit with you guys on Facebook and YouTube, but we'll end this right now for the people on the audio podcast on Apple and iHeart and everything. So I want to get this in the books. So let's finish up as we go along. So www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys, Glencairns, t-shirts, and barrel picks. So get a hold of me, Tiny, Jeff Mueller, on the Scotchy Bourbon Boys one way through social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, soon to be hopefully on TikTok. And then also on all the podcast formats, Apple, iHeart, Spotify. No matter how you listen to us, watch us, make sure you listen, like, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. That is greatly appreciated. And remember, good bourbon and good whiskey equals good friends and good times. Remember, drink responsibly, don't drink and drive, and go out and live your life uncut and unfiltered. And little Steve-O's gonna take us out.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
All right, everybody, we're stopped recording. Facebook and YouTube, stay put. I'm going to be right there. I don't need audio magic. I should have just, all right. Voice quality and clarity. That should help. No, I just hit file, publish to, uploading. What to do? There we go. Save it. All right, I'm saving it. I've been excited. I put it this way. Randy Walker, hold on a sec. I want to grab this because I think I got, let's see, I think I got them right there. The last podcast, oh, you guys saw it. Put it there. This, I'm addicted to it. All right, we're gonna do this. We'll put this on. I picked this up. That's a good hat right there. Whiskey Thief. We'll wear that for the after podcast. All right. Even got let's even pull this off. There we go. I got that going. But this right here was, I think, the best. It's right up there with the Old Carter Batch 9, but I think it's better. There's that much left for the Scotchy Bourbon boys. I'm going to drink that. Nope. That's not. Yep. There's nothing been in this Scotchy Bourbon boy glass, so am I sure? Yeah, there's nothing been in there. This is 1981 Old Carter. Small batch. Old Taylor, not Old Carter. And honestly, I've never tasted anything that comes close to this. The smell has a dusty smell, but it's also like, it smells like a butterscotch candy. It's right there. I mean, I don't know how you can. Now, it's been open for a week or since Thursday. God. This is what you're in it for. I have to thank my wife for that one, because Roxy bought that bottle. I have no idea. She got it. Brad Bonds, I have to thank you. I want another one. I seriously want another one. I need another one. It's amazing. And then the 1969 that Super Nash has is pretty good. Yes, I am, Walker. This is what I got at the launch party at Gervasi. Yep, I wear my sunglasses at night so I can. So that's a pretty good one, John. That's a good one. You guys, it's fun hanging out. We're just gonna go for we'll hang out here for a little bit. Everything's saved up on that. If you guys Thursday for everybody on YouTube and Facebook is going to be this Penelope. Now, I sent off big samples to Nash and so CT was when I was at okay, there's that one. I don't know what I did with the other one, but Penelope I got to give a shout out to let me take a look at this. I'll take a look. But oh, I should have some more of this. I'll finish this so I can drink some more of my Bloody Mary. But this right here, this Penelope Estate collection, they gave us the private select and the 10-year in both of them. Now I don't know what I can take this one off because that one's done. Let's just turn that off because that's done. I got the Facebook and YouTube still. Telling you that old Taylor. I want to lick the glass. The butterscotch. Man, that's some good whiskey. And a screw cap. And it was $17.95 for that. Almost want to decanter that bitch. 1981. Yeah, this Penelope Estate. I believe I got the other one right here. Yep. And then this is a 10-year. There's two doing these. And I was able to through can't do that in either one. Let's see. Let's go to mail. Mail. Let's see. He was this morning, so it was this morning. Okay. Patrick Berry from Lux Row. He'll be watching tomorrow night, but he is my connection and he contacted me, sent up the bottles of Penelope. Now you got Matt Lysen, you got yeah, I would say in 1980, but still, I mean, it's Old Taylor. I mean, I want to drink the whole bottle, but I'm saving it for you guys. This I'll be bringing that down to Florida, and into Kentucky. Walker. Okay, so it's just like it's moving so fast. Now this weekend, wait, what to make of Michter's coming out with new Bombergers? I like Bombergers. What do you mean by new? Just another batch? Definitely try and get it here in Ohio for MSRP. So it's decent at MSRP. So what was I getting at? I was getting at, okay, we had the Penelope. I was spreading that out. That's next Thursday, but this Saturday, look for us live on Saturday morning from Middle West Spirits. At the moment, we are set up to meet with Ryan down there. I'm going to do a podcast. Hopefully, Roxy and CT will be there, trying to get to you know finalize the I want to finalize the actual time that we're going to be there, so that I want to be able to do a podcast and a Facebook and a YouTube live. We'll see. I got some new microphone technology. Hopefully, I can do that. I was only half happy with the. I used my Yeti microphone, and then I gave Shay the microphone, the cordless microphone, and I gotta figure out the cordless microphone with the podcast. So I figured it out for Facebook and YouTube. As you all know, it's decent. Precision grain. I don't know. I must be missing some comments because remember the name of that bottle. And then the Sweetens Cove will be coming out, so I'm gonna hit some more of this Bloody Mary. It's just like, doesn't this like the look work? Where's the beach? I need the beach. So I'm gonna be headed to. We're gonna be March 7th. We will be doing a podcast from Maker's Mark with Rob Samuels. It looks like we're pulling in Super Nash, myself, and Roxy for that podcast. I'm hoping Walker can help out from the technical standpoint with us. And it should be a blast. I will be contacting them once February starts to roll around to make sure everything's set up and doing well. But Frank, we already had a tour with. I can't wait to get down and podcast at Maker's Mark. So we got the Maker's Mark podcast in March. But after that, I'm headed down to Florida. And one of the things I'm excited about is my dad. So everybody, okay, so I'm just gonna, since we're not officially on the podcast, I have a thing I want everybody. I gotta think about what it is. What would be something? Well, I know what it would be. Is that it? Yep. I'm going to bring this down to my dad, but also I have some sad news, and that's one thing. We'll pull this out. You got special occasions and whatnot. And Super Nash got when I was a kid, and I would always look in the liquors. He had J&B Scotch, and then also Cuddy Shark for my dad. But my dad was a Jack Daniels guy. And growing up, I had a cousin, put this way, I had two sisters. My dad's brother, oldest brother, Dennis, had three daughters, Kim, Debbie, and Chris. Then my Uncle Dale had two daughters, Tammy, God rest her soul, and Lori, and her husband, Rick Cushman. And then Brent, who was 3 years younger than me. I'm 60. He turned 57 on January 12th. And then his youngest brother had a son and two daughters. And so, but Jeremy was a lot younger than me. And so me and my cousin Brent were the two boys in the family. And we were very close growing up. Anytime we got together, we just hung out, and we hung out with family. I lived in Wisconsin. Kenosha was 45 minutes away. We probably went down into Kenosha to see my grandma and grandpa and see my dad's brothers probably about 10, 15 times a year. But my Uncle Dale, God rest his soul, and my Aunt Judy, who has now had to do some hard things twice, she um, was my godmother, and they had a swimming pool at their house, and we would go down there, and it was just family, friends, and my cousin Brent was everything. We got along. We collected baseball cards and comic books, and Brent was a little bit. What would you say? I was more loose, and he was more precision. And when my dad started teaching me art and becoming a photographic retoucher with him and learning to use the airbrush, I was 3 years older than my cousin, but my cousin was extremely talented. He was very talented. Uh, One of the most amazing designers with natural talent. He got a scholarship to go to the Art Institute of Chicago. He graduated after 4 years, and me and my dad had worked to. My dad had a great art studio, and my dad offered him a job as soon as he was out of college. So my dad, my cousin, and myself worked together, and then there was a couple other people that would work with us, and we were very close. It was a close knit. We'd go to lunch every day, spent all day every day. He moved up here, and then when he got married to his wife, his beautiful, super awesome wife, Polly. Um, they got married. He started working for us in 1988. They got married on New Year's Eve of 1989 and 90, the start of the new decade. We did a ton. For his bachelor party, I took him down to Chicago. We went to a Cubs game. Two of us met Polly out in the suburbs of Illinois. It was just um, a fantastic relationship that we worked together for uh, 13 years, 1988 to 2001. And in 2001, things were changing. He went his another way than what we were going, and but we stayed friends for about a year, like cousin friends for about a year. But then in 2003, I moved to Ohio. We really only saw each other a couple times after that. But about 5 years ago, he developed cancer. It was in his groin area, and he got through that. And then it came back, and it came back, and it came back. And as of today, um, he finally is in a place where he's resting. My dad always drank Jack Daniels, so when we were always working together, there was a lot of what we called Brewski Fridays, and there was a lot of um, times we go to advertising. Our studio was well known. We had put in a graphics computer that was, what would you say, top of the line, $500,000, cutting edge, and me and my cousin ran the crap out of that, and we had a lot of good times in that. But in the last couple weeks, I knew that it was getting to be the end. He had put up a struggle, and it wasn't working, so they had shifted him to home hospice. His wife Polly kept us up to date, and this morning he passed. So I really, really want to share this with you guys. This is a Jack Daniel's OHLQ number 4 single barrel proof. I'm going to be bringing this down to my dad when everything comes down and whatever. And when I go down to Florida, I'll bring that down, Randy, also. But if I want you all to put something special in your glass right now. And I want to raise 57, and he didn't do anything to deserve this, but nobody ever does, do they? And there's certain people in your life, and people that do things that there's a lot of good memories, man. And at 60, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. You could go any day, but you probably won't. But in his case, it was rough. I mean, he had a rough 5 years, and his wife was very happy today because his struggle was over, because it was so hard to watch him struggle and fight this horrible disease. So, um, there's no rhyme or reason, but I believe there's a purpose. So, hopefully, that he's in a much better place, feeling all right now. His term on the planet is over, and I raised this glass of Jack Daniels that we've shared many a times, but when we shared it, I never savored it. I was always trying to drink it and drink through it and not taste it. But in this case, I'm going to enjoy this pour, and cheers to my super awesome cousin Brent, who um, passed this morning peacefully at the age of 57. All right. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate that. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Here's to life. Wow. That's a good one. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. He was a beer guy, liked beer, but he would do Jack Daniels. But I'll be taking this down to my dad, and then I got that Cuddy Shark, which I don't know how good it's going to be, but we're talking about like 1971, and Nash got that for me to share, and it was like I wish Nash could be able to come down. This is what whiskey and bourbon is for, you guys. Let's just not, be honest. Thank you, Randy. Thank you. I don't know. I could say that this has been, my wife's Uncle Peter, who I've known since I met my wife. He was an artist also, along and a mentor to me. He helped me do a lot of things in my art career. And honestly, he passed within the last week. And then a friend, my cousin's wife's sister, who I knew very well, she passed in the last couple months. And it's been a rough couple of months when it comes to that. But, that's why I'm going to remember this pour with you guys. Barrel Gold Label. Rest in peace. Thanks, Walker. I mean, there's so many other friends. I wasn't super close to him in the end. I basically reconnected. I saw him this past July. before he went on his last, he had been diagnosed with cancer again, and on the Friday before the Sunday that I saw him, and he had been cancer free for the month. He went cancer free, and then 2 weeks later he was cancer free, and then he was cancer free one more time. So after his 2 weeks, he went a month, and at that month, which was that Friday before I saw him, he got the notice that the cancer had come back. And those are the kind of things where you just don't think it would happen. It's just like you don't know why it would happen. He's a great guy. And that's, there's nothing you can do about it. It's what it is. You wait. We all go. There's no getting out of it. So enjoy every day, and remember that, like I say always, good bourbon equals good times and good friends. And live your life uncut, unfiltered, because you never know. You really don't ever know, from day to day. So, um, oh, he had time. It was really strange, Randy, because on Saturday night to Sunday morning, I had a dream that he came and said goodbye to me. Now I'm not sure, because today is Tuesday morning at 6:35. He actually passed, but some people, he had been being um, given morphine to the tumor had grown so strong that the pain of pushing up against all the organs that it eventually caused his organs to fail. Even though they were healthy, they failed because the tumor was so big. um, he said he came in a dream and told me he wanted to let himself say goodbye to me. And I said goodbye. And that was on Sunday morning at about 5:15. And I don't dream very often. I dream every once in a while, but that dream, I still think that he might have, I don't know, I haven't, I'll talk to his wife and see when he actually lost consciousness, because I always feel that there's that time when you're being uh, respectfully let go, because who wants to live an extra couple days in that kind of pain? You could take care of it with the morphine, and although it takes you a while to stop breathing, and I've seen it before where you just don't exist. So with that said, oh, I'm sorry for that. It actually took his father-in-law too. So we used to talk about that all the time also. So, um, but that's where friends and family and being around you guys. Yeah, what John says, let's raise another glass for everybody who's lost somebody to cancer. And I think we all have. It's not something that anybody wants to experience. The end of life experience of that is horrible. I mean, it's one thing if you get it when you're 90 and it's just that's one thing. But if you're young, he was young. 57 is just far too young. I mean, if you just that's another 20 years if you live to be 80. His dad, who was in who drank and smoked cigarettes. My cousin didn't do any of that, and ever, and ended up with that. And his dad did all that and lived to be 79 years old. So who knows? There's no rhyme or reason, right? All right. So love you guys. So I'm gonna have another sip, and I'm gonna start drinking the Bloody Mary. Love you, Brent. All right, so we're back to this. So everybody who's left, let me know, what's your favorite cocktail? Ah, the pickles have, yeah, it definitely felt like a visit, Randy. There's no doubt about it. It definitely did. All right. So Thanks, you guys. It helped me out having you all here commenting on that. That was very, very nice of you. Um, I'm gonna take us off YouTube real quick because we're down to one viewer. It's probably who knows. Did it go up? Nope. I wonder how many likes we got. Let's see. 9 likes. So that could be. Let's see what's happening. All right. Mhm. Oh, we're back up to 3, but that's okay. All right, everybody, tonight, thanks for joining us on YouTube. We will be here Thursday for Penelope Estate Collection. Make sure you check us out.